Thank you,
Yes,
Chair.
Ms. Sigers Ncube.
General, switch on your microphones. Thank you. General, unless the commissioners have questions on Brigadier Nkwashu, I want to move on to the next topic in the phone call, which is your reference to the group of 5 on page 66 of file 4. Are you there?
Yes, Advocate.
Just 3 lines above line 20. You say, yes, no, you see those people, they like drama because this guy was the same group with Mswazi. And we know by this guy you were referring to Mr. Katiso Molefe, correct?
Yes.
And then you next speak, you say, yes, him, I am sure they are 5. They are a group of, they are 5, they were 5. They are having other companies together also, or mining rights together. Right? Now, can I just ask you, when I had put witness A's version about this to you, you had denied that you had said anything about a group of 5. Do you recall that? When I asked you in your evidence in chief, can I just read from the record? And maybe we can display it.
What was the question?
Just a moment. You want to address the chair?
No, I'll wait. I wanted to ask what was the question. I was responding to a question when I denied.
Okay.
So, that's why I was saying what was the question, but I will wait.
Okay. I saw you looking at the chair as if you want to address the chair.
No, I thought maybe it is on the screen, the question will be appearing.
Yes, I'm
My
just trying
apologies.
to display it. Because the transcripts seem to be 2 different. Yeah. Okay. So it will come on the display, General. I was reading from So you'll see, I'll put it on. It says there after line 20 on the transcript, can you see? Okay, then 94, during the call, General Shabiri told me that Molefe was part of a group of 5 individuals with interest in mining. And then in the Northwest Province, and that one of these groups belongs to a group of, and then the name is given. And then I asked you, and you say, no, I deny all of those. Do you see?
Yes.
And I even asked you about, you also said another guy is a Zulu guy called Zay, who stays in Sandton, who I understood to be Zay Ngomalo. He said Zay is close to Julius Malema, who is close to General Shabiri. And you said you deny all of those.
Yes.
Now, do you want to just comment on that denial in light of the transcript of the call?
Yeah. I think I was referring to my statement where I think the question, when referring to the 5, the group of 5, it had another thing again. I don't know if it was indicating cartel or something. That is what I deny. I never talked about a cartel. I said the person arrested, he was involved with a group of 5 and they having business interest when we were talking on the phone, and I also testified now. So my denial was about that one. And then when coming to the issue of Ze, I indicated somebody called Ze, and but I never said Ngumala. So when you put a surname, it's something else because I don't know. And this, remember, I'm talking about information of which I don't even know who's there. And I indicated in my statement that when I was asked the relation of Ze and General and Mr. Malema, to say, I was once in the office of the General. There were a female and a Chinese guy who came to report about a case of vandalism at the mine in Northern Cape, and he indicated his business partner with Zenuma. And that is when I heard the name in that office. So suggesting that they might be knowing it, he might be knowing him because they came to his office to report. And Mr. Malema, I indicated that yes, sometimes he sent me to attend to certain cases and said he received a call from Mr. Malema. So it was from those bases.
No, General. I put to you witness A's version in his statement. I had put to you his version of what transpired in the telephone call. And you then, I said to you, let's go through what you confirm and what you deny.
Yes.
And I read that out to you and you denied all of it. You said, yes, I deny all of those.
And I'm giving my reasons why I denied. If you added something on top of Z, then I deny. And if you added something, what was the question? That is what I was asking.
Put it back on the screen, the part that Advocate Ngube is referring to, then General can respond. I think you've moved on now. It's no longer on the screen. Sorry to interrupt you, General. You misunderstood the question. So I wanted them to put it back on the screen so that you can know what they're asking you.
And whilst you are doing what... Let's hope it will be quick.
Here we go. It seems to be working now.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
I was saying, whilst you are looking for the transcript again, or is it there already? But let me say what I want to say. We should spell people's names or even names of places. Was looking at this, for example, the Z-A-Y, when the name is Z-E-E, and there was also a strange-looking surname there. We should spell people's names, and if it's a witness speaking, we should ask the witness to spell the name as well.
Will do, Chair.
Thank you, thank you.
General, we'll just put it up again so you'll see there. Look at the screen, General. You'll see after line 20, I say, okay, then 94. 94 is a reference to paragraph 94 of witness A's statement. I am putting to you what witness A said during that call. And in that call, he refers to a group of 5 individuals that you had told him about, which included Mr. Molefe. And then I also said to you that he had told you told him about another guy, which is a tall Zulu guy that lives in Sandton, Z-E, for the transcript, and his surname. There was no surname.
Of course, once a name has been mentioned, we'll trust the transcriber to remember that we won't be spelling every time a name is mentioned.
Indeed, Chair.
Thank you, thank you.
Do you recall that, General? And then I asked you and you said, no, I deny all of those. So now you've seen the transcript of the recording. I am asking you whether you are still sticking to that denial. You want to clarify the denial, and then we can address what you meant in the call.
Yeah, I remember, and I even indicated that, because on my statement I said I can't recall, and I gave the reason why I indicated that, and I even asked if I recall, must I mention these names here and whatsoever. But today I did indicate that I agree with the statement to say, yes, I informed you, I shared information with him to say the same person, I got information that he was working with somebody and they were a group of 5 and they are having even mining rights, yes.
Okay. Now, if we then go back to the transcript of the call, the recording of the call, you can go to file 4, page 66.
66.
Yeah, 66. And we are at line 21, where it says, yes, him, I am sure they are 5. They are a group of, they were 5. They are having other companies together also, or mining rights together. Now, this group of 5, you say they are having other companies together also, or mining rights together. So it seems to me like you are saying, in addition to the companies or the mining rights that they have, there's another reason why you are referring to them as a group of 5, because you say having other companies together also. So what is the primary reason that you are referring to them as a group of 5? It can't just be because they have companies together.
I'm saying they were a group of 5 partners. According to information, and that is what I said even today, to say information I got that the arrested person, he was belonging to the group of the deceased, and they were about 5, they are having also companies. That is what I indicated.
Oh, they all originate from the deceased Mr. Mswazi, the 5.
That is what I said, yes.
Okay. And there's the Mr. Mswazi's name is mentioned, and we know that there's Mr. Molefe, and then there's a name that you don't mention. That's fine. Who are the other 2?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yes.
Okay.
How do you know there are 5 if you don't know about the other 2?
Commissioner, that is what I was told, that there were 5. And then I happened to know the other
Told by whom?
3 names which I were informed.
Told by whom?
By a source. Remember I said after, I remember even before, the source indicated to me that they arrested 3. They previously worked for Mr. Mswazi and as contract killers. And later on, when we were discussing after the arrest of Mnifa, I indicated to him, I got further information that this person was working with Mswazi and the other people, and they were also involved in mine. That is what I indicated. And I indicated those names that name which I was informed. Then other names which I'm not informed, I don't know.
The 2 names that you mentioned in the same transcript, Joe on 68 and Zay on 67, are they part of the 5?
No, that was something else. Remember, I indicated to say after the decease of Mswazi, my understanding is Joe took over as leading at the industry. And I was saying, I was regarding the whole fight is about taxi violence and so forth. That is where I mentioned that name. I said now there are people who are also there in the taxis now venturing on the
How do you know they're not part of the group of 5 if you don't know who the group of 5 is, according to you?
because I was not, that information which was shared to me, they were not mentioned. And I just indicated to say them. I indicated he is known to the two gentlemen, and I indicated the reason why I said they are known to him, to the general.
But General, what you're being asked is, you say there are 5, and your language, I'm trying to see, you say, I am sure there are 5. So you say 5, and then you mention 2 names here in the next sentences. You mentioned the 2 names, Swazi and that other name, and then you say, and others, you see. Now, when you are asked about whether Joe is part of the 5, and the same as Zay, whether they are part of the 5, you say no.
Yes.
And what Ms. Sigals Nube is asking is, but if you say you don't know who are the other members of the group, what you call the group of 5, if you don't know who the others are, how are you firmly saying Joe is not part of them? Zay is not part of them, because if you say that, if you answer that way, it suggests that you know who are the other members of the group of 5.
Commissioner, I'm sure even the journalists in here, they know the rivalry between Joe and Uswazi, so they cannot be one belonging to that. And in the context of what I was sharing information regarding Joe, it was something else. And there by the 5, already we know who's the 3, and then the only ones which we don't know is the 2. But again, I'm saying, everybody knows that there was a rivalry between Joe and Uswazi. Then they cannot be the same group having same company together. So that is why I'm sure of that.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know that Joe, there's rivalry with Mswazi. I didn't know that, maybe because I don't operate in that world. Now you've provided an explanation why Joe is not part of the 5. That's the explanation you have given.
Yeah.
Why do you say Zay? And Zay, because you do mention him in another context. I accept
Yes.
that you mention him in a particular context here. But the question was, how do you know Zay is not part of the group of 5? If you say, I don't know who the other 2 members of the group of 5 are. So, Joe, you know, you've explained why you say he cannot be. What about Zay, that you happen to mention in another context?
Because it was not mentioned, he was not mentioned in that information I got.
Okay,
Yes.
that's fine. That's sufficient for me, General.
No, and just to clarify, you mentioned him in this context, because if you look at where you mention Mswazi, I will skip the other name, and then you say, and others you see, and then witness A says, yes, because even to me, he said that he has interest in mining. You say, yes, somewhere in Rustenburg and Brits there. And then, yes, he mentioned that. Then you say, yes, there is this other guy, his name is Zay, who's staying in Senton. So you don't change context. You don't move from group of 5 to other people. You're still discussing mining, specifically mining interest in Rustenburg and Brits. And then witness A says, yes, you mentioned that, he mentioned that. Then you say, yes, there is this other guy, Zay. So you're not talking about taxes here, you're still talking about the mining interest.
About mining interest, yes. And I've indicated that there was once people came to the office who indicated they were having mines with him in Kimberley and complaining to the National Commissioner and mentioned his, not Deputy National Commissioner, and mentioned his name.
You've promoted him already.
No.
No, finish your answer.
Yeah, no, I said, excuse me. And then they mentioned that they were partners with him, hence it was on that issue of mines.
Yes.
Yeah, and I indicated also that he's close to, they say he's close to Mr. Malema, and also the Deputy National Commissioner is also close to Malema, because now and then he reports to him certain cases which he tasked me. So it was in that context.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. General, are you aware that General Dumisani Kumalo gave evidence that one of the group of 5 is Mr. Matlala? One of the members is Mr. Matlala?
That's correct.
Okay. Do you know whether Mr. Matlala is one of the 5?
Now, what I know he was a security for the late, not part of the 5.
You know
I don't know. But I know he was providing security for the late Mswazi.
So you knew that Mr. Matlala is somebody that originates from the late Mswazi?
No. I know he provided service to Mr. Mswazi.
Linked to okay, so he has a link to Mr. Mswazi, providing services for him.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I ask differently? Now that Mr. Mswazi passed, do you know if Mr. Matala has got any association with this group of 5?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Thank you.
And you say that Joe is not part of the 5?
Yes.
If I take you to page 67.
Before you move away, still at starting page, line 22, page 66, where we were. You say, and the evidence leader has read this, yes, him, I'm sure they are 5. They are a group of 5. They were 5. They are having other, underline other, companies together. They are having other companies together also, or mining rights together. When you use other, it seems to suggest that there's something else in addition to the other companies that you are referring to. What's the other thing that they have together?
All of them, they were known for taxi. They were owning taxis. They are owning a fleet of taxis, and they were running the Santiago and so forth, yes.
Oh, okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. So if we go to 67, where you reference Joe, page 67, are you there?
Yes.
The last 2 lines on page 67. Do you have it?
At line?
The last 2 lines, Major General Shabiri. So, Mina, I was thinking that maybe it links to the taxis, but I said no, but these in the taxis. Do you see that?
Yes.
Just before we go on, where you say, I was thinking that maybe it links to the taxis, is the it that you're referring to the Aman Swart murder?
Yeah, I was referring to the murders happening from that particular groups. I was thinking their links is about taxi violence. Now this happened, so it's another thing.
Sorry, General, when you say it links, so you're saying that it is more than just the Aman Swart murder? Or is it the Aman Swart murder?
No, after Aman Swart murder happened, and then this person, Ormulefe, arrested, and these people who were contract murders from the taxi industry side. That is where I'm referring to, that I thought all this thing is about taxi violence, not other things.
Okay, so this is now in December 2024. So in December 2024, when you say it links, you are referring to the Aman Swart murder and other murders committed by those contract killers that were arrested for Aman Swart's murder.
No.
Okay, just clarify for me what you mean.
It was also testified here that somebody or the deceased was called notorious in the taxi, and there were allegations even though he was never arrested, or of which I don't know, maybe he was arrested. So I was thinking, if ever these people will be arrested and these ones who are termed to be contract killers, it should be contract killers for taxi-related murders. But now somebody else who is not related to the murder is being murdered. So I was talking in that context.
Okay, so there you're referencing, but that's what I'd asked you, the Aman Swart murder. So you're not referring to the contract killers and Mr. Molefe, you are referring to the deceased Aman Swart. You thought that his murder is linked to the taxis, but it's not.
No.
Okay.
No, not. I was referring to it. That is amazing that these people who are known to be involved in this other side, now they killed somebody who is not belonging to the side of the taxis. Yes.
And these people, were you referring to just the contract killers, or you referring to Mr. Molefe as well? When you say these people who are known to
Remember they said information I gave to them initially to say there is a handler who wanted them out. So I take it was him who might be the handler because I didn't know the merit. So, and I know he was to be, I'm told he's owning taxis. So hence, I mean, all four arrested, they're supposed to be maybe involved in the violence which might happen at the taxi environment, not outside the taxi environment.
Okay. But in May 2024, when you have the meeting with the investigators, you already tell them then that these contract killers used to be Swazi's contract killers, so they must go and find out who they are working for now. Remember, you said you gave intel so that CI and the investigators could follow up who are these contract killers working for now that Mr. Mswazi is deceased. Do you recall that evidence?
I just said so again now. What you are repeating is what I just said. To say initially when I gave information that the source said these contract killers who are arrested, the people who are arrested actually, they are contract killers. That was the information which I gave to them to say this is what I'm told. And these people used to work by Mswazi. And now the current handlers, which we didn't know who were they want them out on bail. So even now, before the question, is what I repeated.
Yes, I'm just trying to clarify that is what you're saying now, because you knew this information in May of 2024 already, but you saying you didn't know the identity of the hit orderer in May 2024, but you knew that the contract killers were linked to the deceased Mswazi, and they needed to find out, the CI and the investigators needed to find out who these guys are working for now that the deceased is no more.
That's correct.
Okay. And now that person that gets accused of being involved in the murder in December 2024 and is arrested is Mr. Molefe, who you say originates from the deceased Mswazi.
Which I say, information I got say so. Because you are making as if I know.
Yes.
And then I came with it.
Well, I'm talking about what you're communicating to witness A. When you're speaking to witness A, you say, this person was part of Mswazi's group. And you're referring to Mr. Molefe.
Yes.
Yes. So you know that. That is what you've been told, according to you. We are on the same page.
No,
I'm
you
just...
are tricking me again.
I'm really not tricking you,
you're
General. I
tricking
think
me
it's
again.
because I'm in agreement
No,
with you that you
you're
think I'm tricking
me
you.
again. I said I was told information. So if you say I know is something else, it's different. I don't know, that is my understanding.
But generally, if you are told something, then you know it. Somebody tells you something, you know it. That's all. I think you think I'm tricking you because I'm in agreement with you. I'm just trying to clarify what your evidence is so that we know going forward that you are saying that in December when you are speaking to witness A, you are telling witness A that Molefe is linked to Mswazi, but you didn't know that it was Molefe in May 2024.
Yeah, blame my tutors. They said what you know or knowledge is what you have experienced. So,
Okay,
that
let's
is my
move on to
understanding, yes.
Okay.
But I think in fairness to this discussion, General, in your conversation with the investigating officer, you don't say, I have been told. And you can look at it. It's not how you express yourself. You express yourself as they are part of, he Molefe. They are 5. I'm sure they are 5. They are a group of, they were 5. They're having other companies together also, or mining rights together. So you are not saying to him, you are relaying what you have been told. In fact, on the next paragraph, he says, in the further conversation, he says, yes, to me too, he told me that he has an interest in mining. And then you say, somewhere in Rustenburg and Bretts. Now, that conversation, you are not conveying it as I have been told. You're telling A, these are the facts. At least that's how you speak in the transcript. You may now want to explain it and say, well, maybe I misspoke. It's what I had been told. But in this communication, if we go by the transcript, in the transcript, you present it as something that you know.
Yeah.
So there's no tricking there, and I think you're not being fair in the discussion to say that you're being tricked. It's your words. No one is putting words in your mouth.
Yeah, it's not easy because me and the person I was speaking to, we understood each other, and even the information that I got information and whatsoever, it is not there on the transcript. And they indicated that they were not aware that some were not being recorded and so forth, but it will seem I'm reasoning. I'll leave it there as it is on the transcript. But what I'm explaining is what is the truth, is what I know.
And General, to be fair to you, line 18 on page 66, because there you identify Molefe because you say this guy, meaning Katiso Molefe, in line 19. This guy was the same group with Mswazi. So whether you heard that from somebody else or not, when you communicate it to witness A, that's how you communicate it. You may not have personal knowledge yourself, but the information you are communicating to witness A is that Katiso Molefe was linked to Mswazi, and they are part of this group of 5. So whether the source is somebody else, for now we can accept that what you communicated is that information. Right?
Can I leave to my answer?
Yes.
Yes.
And maybe this is just an interest to understand how it works. So, General, if somebody told you this kind of information, so you're not putting it as a fact. You were saying someone has told me. As head of organized crime, is it not supposed then to, as part of your functions, to then give you the beginning of an investigation to get you to a point where you are able to say indeed they are part of a group of 5, or no, they're actually not part of a group of 5, or for that matter, there is no group of 5. So we take it past, I've been told, because you are head of organized crime in the country. What do you do when that happens, and what did you do here? And maybe let me bring it back to this, that you say to us you were informed, and that's what this conversation is about. What do you do with that?
That is why I shared with Witness A. Witness A works for organized crime. Witness A was part of the investigation team which has been formulated, which is dealing with the same group in related to certain things. So it's additional to what you already knows to say they can go further. And I indicated even now to say now they were reinforced in a safe house, having all the resources to pursue this thing. Hence, I shared further with him that information so that it must be continuation of that particular investigation because the investigation has already started and already other people arrested. I'm giving him further names to look at. As I indicated to say, when I wanted a threat risk analysis to be done, was exactly that they get protection, they stay in a safe house, they have more members, and then team with crime intelligence and combat so that they can work on this and pursue other new cases which will emanate from these firearms. I think I testified like that, and this was just a continuation of sharing the information so that they can follow up also on that other part.
So just to make sure that I understand, so you get this kind of information from whatever other source, it's an informer or whatever, you pass it on to an investigator like this in a docket, and you do nothing more about it. Is that, I'm just trying to understand so that one doesn't attach to you functions and responsibilities that don't belong to you. You know, if you say to us, look, once I've got the information, I just pass it on. Investigators will deal with it. As head of organized crime, I just wait for them to give me reports. If that's what it is, that's what it is.
So, no, if it was a normal investigation, when it's based at the unit, I could speak to him and the commander and follow up and make sure that whatever support which I can provide, I can. As I indicated before, that when I was briefing them, I indicated this will form a part of investigation which we called project. Project led is got a project team, a leader, and it's a group, and it reports otherwise. You cannot access it unless there is at the provinces they have what they call Provincial Organized Crime Secretariat. Only the the project leaders will go and brief, and then there will be NDPP and everybody who's supposed to be there who forms the part. So if he's already there at the project and is the person I communicate with, who I knew from the start is part of the investigation, and they're making inroads, and I'm just sharing further information for him and the team to pursue. So I will end it there.
If again, I'm just trying to understand this. If witness A is not part of that project team, he's docket specific. In this case, there's a very specific docket. If his involvement is limited to this docket and he wasn't part of a project team, you've now shared this with him, what happens? I mean, you hope that he will feed it into somebody else, or what?
No, it will depend. If it is faceted, it doesn't need more resources. Like this one, it seems to need more. Then what we do, you will now, the investigator and the commander come together, we discuss to say we form a team, a multidisciplinary team to work on that particular issue. We call it 5-pillar approach. Then we'll call crime intelligence, and then we will have that investigator. They will determine the number in terms of the volume of the work need to be done. But crime intelligence will be number one to come with that investigator to follow up and verify. That is why we call them pillar one, because everything we do, it must be, we call intelligence-led policing. Then it must be information which, not information, now it becomes intelligent report. Information is not yet verified. So it works like that.
Do you know if that has happened in respect of this group of 5, this which you are describing would have happened?
I think they testified that the leader is General Kalakala, and the testimony of General Kumalo is they are still investigating. The investigation is ongoing. That is what I know.
Thank you, General.
Thank you.
General, just on the issue of Mr. Matlala, so you say you knew that Mr. Matlala was providing security for Mr. Mswazi.
Yes.
And if I can ask you to go to file 3, it is page 198. It's a WhatsApp, CJC 70, page 198.
Yes, ma'am, I'm there.
These are WhatsApp chats between you and Sergeant Nkosi.
That's correct.
And were you aware that, and you must know that Sergeant Nkosi considered the late Mr. Mswazi to be a father figure? Did you know that?
I don't know that he's a father figure, but I knew they are related.
You knew that they are related.
Yes.
And did you also know that Sergeant Nkosi got to know of Mr. Matlala because of Mr. Mswazi?
I don't know about that. They knew each other because of Mr. Mswazi. But
Okay.
I knew later that they know each other.
Okay. And if I understood your evidence, you were quite involved in taxi violence investigations and the taxi violence, those syndicates, the taxi violence syndicates.
No.
I thought you said that you were involved in taxi violence, investigations of taxi violence syndicates.
No, I said I was tasked with a taxi violence in the Eastern Cape.
Yes, but but that's my question, taxi violence. I wasn't referring to any specific province.
That is why I say no, because there is a component dealing with taxi violence, which I indicated that it falls under General Mutsepe. And I was explaining that sometimes I'm tasked of things which is out of my jurisdiction. So I was giving example, but also include, I don't want to jump in front of you, including this, what is in here. I will explain because I know you come to that because of that.
No, I'm just asking because in your conversation with witness A, you also speak about, I thought this was linked to the taxis, but it's not the taxis because the only person that's left there is Joe. So you seem to know a lot about what's happening in the taxi industry. Remember you said Joe is not part of the group of 5 and he's the one that's left in the taxi world. Do you recall that?
In a way, I ought to know as a police officer, even though I'm not working with it.
Okay.
Some of the things I will know because I'm attending meetings. For example, I attended meetings with Santiago and the National Taxi Association where there was conflict and accompanying senior managers to be part of the meeting, whereas it's got nothing to do with me, to assist with ideas and whatever it could happen, yes. I will know certain things.
Okay. Now, this WhatsApp text it's a chat, you sending this to Mr. Nkosi.
Yes.
And what was the purpose for sending this to him about the taxi industry?
I had a tasking from the DNC General Civil that he got a tasking from the minister. The minister wanted to know about the bucket system. How does it operate? And they wrote this short description of the taxi industry. They want to know about short background of the taxi industry. How does it constitute the associations? How many are they in each region, meaning province? The rise of Joe Ferrari, the rise of Mswazi, the chairpersons and regionals and whatsoever. And the general gave me a name of a guy called Tami from Gauteng to say He's a chairperson, I think, in Gauteng, can assist me. But I saw that this is not going to help me. So I happen to know the president of Santaco. Then I phoned the president and said, there is a question which we need your information about. How many associations are there? How many chairpersons in regions and so forth? Because I knew Santaco is the biggest one. And then he said he's in the meeting and gave me the number of the secretary to say, I must send an email. I told my secretary to send an email. And I asked Nkosi to say, do you know the chairperson? He said, yes. I said, I've spoken to the chairperson. They're supposed to give me this and that. I'm going to the meeting. My secretary have forwarded an email to their office. Just follow up that they respond. They responded well after some time, and I think I got the file or explaining all those things. So that was the reason. This was a tasking to him to follow up for me when I was going to a meeting.
Okay, and at that stage you knew who Mswazi was, you knew who Joe Ferrari was, you knew all of that?
And Mswazi was already passed when
Yes.
I sent this. Yes, I knew.
Okay.
I knew, but tasking is a tasking. Police officer is a police officer. When I task you to go and do the job, go and do the job.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with that. I'm just trying to test that you didn't know how about Mr. Matlala. You just referred to Mr. Matlala as providing security for Mswazi, but you don't know that what General Dumisani Kumalo says, that Matlala became one of the group of 5. At this stage, he would have been in the group of 5 because Mr. Mswazi is no more. This is October 2024. You speaking to witness A in December 2024.
Even today, I don't know. I heard what the investigation reveals now by the general. I don't know.
And when you were telling the investigators in 2024 that the guns that were found on the alleged hitman of Aman Swart was connected to other murders, did your source tell you which murders they were?
No.
You didn't know?
No.
Okay. And now do you know?
What I heard about a DJ somebody, another DJ whom I forgot the name. I think I heard about 3.
The attempted murder of Tebogo Tobajani.
No, the attempted murder, I know that not about the firearms, about the suspects, those who were arrested on the Amansar. They are linked to that, yes.
So you know about the suspects?
Yes, like they are charged on it, on the Tobajani murder.
Okay, so you know that the accused, Mr. Musa Kekana and Mr. Floyd Mabusela, that's being accused together with Mr. Ket Matlala for the attempted murder of Tebogo Tobajani, are also co-accused of Mr. Katiso Molefe in the murder of Mr. Aman Swart.
Yes.
Okay, and you didn't have any knowledge of that connection of those contract killers when you spoke to the investigators in May of 2024.
I knew the connection of what?
You didn't know that those contract killers in May 2024, when you spoke to the investigators, you didn't know that those contract killers that had been arrested for Aman Swart's murder were also involved in the murder of DJ Somebody as well as the attempted murder of Tobajani.
No.
You didn't know?
No, I didn't know.
Okay.
Remember when the DJ Somebody happened in Gauteng and I was still in Gauteng, so I was interested to finding out who killed him. So if I knew, they could have been linked. I remember even head office General Mutsipe, they had some information and took the docket and it was taken away from them after maybe the linkages have done. That I know, but I didn't know they are linked to any. What I knew is information which I indicated in my statement and what I testified is, the source informed me that those firearms are going to link with more murders, and that is what I conveyed to the investigators.
And they did indeed link. There was indeed a link. And it was one of the links is to the person that you took a loan from, Mr. Matlala, in September of 2024.
I don't know about that, and I didn't know if that will happen, so it happened. So even if it is linked to him, I didn't know, and it happened is a good thing that he is arrested for that.
And then, General, can I just ask you whether you had ever had any telephonic interaction with Mr. Mutsumi?
Yes.
Can you tell us why? Can you tell us who's Mr. Mutsumi?
I know him as a businessman. He phoned me and said he was referred to me, that I'm dealing with extortions, and they were having problem with extortionists in somewhere in Reger Park, and also I think I was in Tanzania. They phoned me, I referred him to Brigadier Khorani, the provincial head of Northwest, where there was a problem in the mining area where they were working with this 50%, and others were coming, robbing the chrome and so forth. So that is how we had telephone conversation, and then it was about him reporting that, referred to me. As I've indicated, the extortions falls under me. So I didn't even ask who referred you to me, and until today I don't know.
And do you know what industry Mr. Mutsumi is in?
The complaint in Reger Park was construction. The complaint in, I think is Breads, it was mining. So I think it's construction and mining. Furthermore, I don't have knowledge.
And do you know if Mr. Mutsumi had any relationship with Mr. Mswazi, the
No.
late Mr. Mswazi?
No, I don't know.
You don't know?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you know if there's any relationship between Mr. Mutsumi and Mr. Molefe or any other members of the group of five? And I ask the question because you've just said that he mentioned mining in Breads. And in your transcript, we've referred to Breads already, that group of people having mining in Breads.
No, I don't know, because I knew about Mr. Molefe or seeing him on TV recently after the arrest, but not immediately, because that time I couldn't see on the TV. And yes, and that is when I started knowing him, but I don't know his circle.
Okay. So you don't know whether there's any connection in
No,
this
I-
mining in Breads between Mr. Mutsumi and Mr. Molefe or any member of the group of five?
Yeah,
That's
I
what you
don't
said.
know, because my communication with Mr. Mutsumi is always, it was always about his complaints, and I will always refer him to the relevant people working with it to deal with it. For example, that one I indicated, I referred, I can remember that one because it was, I think, last year. I referred him to Brigadier Khorani to assist, because he is the provincial head of organized crime.
Thank you, General.
General, sorry, just remind me, you said with the call with Mr. Mutsumi, who called who?
He called me, and I called him back to give him feedback that certain person will phone him.
And do you recall when was this?
The other one was, if not, I think the first one was 2024. The last one, which I can remember, I was in Tanzania. It should be April, May 2025, I think.
Okay, we also have a record of a call in 6 June 2025, you making the call. And that is in file 4.
Yes.
Page 8.
That might have happened because I remember I came back on I think if it's not the 1st of June, it's the 1st of May when I came back. And there was still not satisfaction about how it was handled because one of his partners they were indicating that this person persistently, because what happens, what they explained is Samanka gives them mining places to mine, and then they extract, and then Samanka buys the minerals from them. And then there was one who was blasting all over, damaging electricity and whatsoever. And when Samanka stops him, you want them to give portions and whatsoever. But they were giving messages to the brigadier. And the brigadier could only open an inquiry to follow up, but he wanted somebody to give a statement in order for them to go forward, but nobody was forthcoming, and they were not happy. We had to meet, and then I phoned him to explain to him that, no, we need a complainant. We cannot use only this. We can open inquiry, but it can lead us up to so far. But you are approached by a person, so give statements. So that is where I ended.
You recall when Chair said that he finds it concerning that police officers and generals in particular are afraid to mention the name of certain people, the names of certain people.
Yes.
And he referred to you, and then he referred to another general.
Yes.
And the name that the general, which is General Senona, was afraid to mention was Mutsumi. Do you know why he would be afraid to mention his name?
I don't know, but I know why I didn't want to mention certain names, because I have established that even those who are on the other side or investigating, they are close to the same people, and you don't know who you are dealing with. So, hence I said, even me is now publicly saying this. I don't think I've been brave to do this, because it's not easy if you have information about certain things. So General Snona might be having different information about the individual, which I don't know. My engagement with the individual was because he was a complainant and was referred to me, as many people are referred to me.
And your fear of wanting to mention the name that we haven't mentioned is because that person is part of this group of 5 that you told Witness A about?
Actually, I didn't want anybody to be mentioned, which I mentioned there. But my prayer didn't get through, so maybe I need to pray more. But it didn't get through. I didn't want any name to be mentioned for that matter.
When you say any names, who do you mean?
All those names you were mentioned.
Zay?
All those names, I don't know, all those names which were mentioned.
Well, I want to understand why you would have a fear mentioning a politician's name. So, Mr. Malema, why would you be afraid to mention a politician's name? He's a public figure.
Politicians have followers. It's like a priest. You don't know who's mad out there, who can do what when you say things. So I have seen a lot in the 38 years I'm working with the police. So I understand.
Leaving that topic, General, the question that I also had was, yes, you were reluctant to mention these other names, but there is this one particular name that you drew the line on and said, reluctantly the others can be mentioned, but not this one. Even the recording has to be manipulated so that mention of this name is not heard. And we're not asking you to mention the name. We respect the engagement that has taken place between the legal teams. Maybe the question is, why? What is the reason? And remember, General, Look here, General, I want you to look behind me and understand what is it that this commission is probing. Do you see that this commission is probing interference and infiltration of the subs
Yeah,
by alleged crime syndicates?
I have full understanding.
Yes.
And again, without us coming to testify, the commission won't exist.
Yes.
And tomorrow, whatever finding will come without us being in existence again, it won't work. I indicated here my first day to come here and say, I thought it was reckless from crime intelligence head. And I'm taken to be maybe against crime intelligence. I respect the men very much. And we worked along well, and with all of them. And they can attest to that. I got information, I called them, and it's my point of departure. But to come, I had qualms with, to come here and say Shiviri gave us the name of the cartel. And you are having bodyguards 24 hours because of you don't want to be harmed by the same cartel. So that is what I indicated.
When you say you, I assume you're talking about General Kumalo.
Yes, he's having bodyguards.
When you say you, looking at the three of us,
I'm addressing you as,
Yes.
as my commissioners. I'm addressing you. So I'm referring to that to come and say that it was not palatable with me, and I thought it is putting me in danger. And that is why I indicated. I even requested a threat risk assessment, and I didn't get any response because maybe because I said I'm considered maybe to be a loyalist to General Sibia or whatever. But that is something. Here today where we are, my legal team, I indicated to them, I don't want this recording to be played, and if it is supposed to be played, it must be played in camera, of which I think the Commission's terms of reference allows. And I've seen people testifying as witness what, and what. And those people are under protection. I'm not. So you can ask them.
can I interrupt you? You're going to continue because
Yeah.
you're saying too many things. When you say you requested a threat and risk assessment, again, it's from SAPS.
Yes.
Yes, just so that we clear. Continue
Yes,
with your
from
answer.
SAFs.
Again, because
my
remember now
commission.
you're referring to the commission.
Yeah.
And the public is listening. So we didn't want the public to think you've asked the commission.
No,
for
the
a
commission
threat
is
and
now
risk
the
assessment,
commission
and
is
it
now
was-
assisting me.
Yes. No, you don't have to mention
Yeah,
that.
okay. But
Please don't speak at the same time. What you just said is very important. You say, with regard to protection, the commission is now assisting you.
Yes.
Thank you.
yes, but from my team, legal team, they know my plea was this must not be played. This must not be discussed outside, or it must be protected like any other. For that reason, but my prayers were not met, so I will live with the consequences. So it's fine.
It's my question, because I want to give you a chance or an opportunity. And I don't want you to leave me with the feeling that you did not assist the commission to fulfill its mandate. And I hope you understand that. Because what has happened in 2024, you can't revisit, you can't go back to 2024 and change that. Your request to crime intelligence, we cannot go back and change that. When we are sitting here, we are probing these very issues. And if you are reluctant to share information with us, information that you know is relevant to our terms of reference, and information that you know will assist us to get to the bottom of what is happening. Have criminal syndicates infiltrated subs at the very highest levels? And if you know that, but you don't want to tell us because you fear for your safety or for some other reasons, I don't want to be left, once you are gone, I don't want to be left with the feeling that General knew something, but he didn't want to tell us or was reluctant to tell us. Because I don't want to make findings against you based on that feeling or that hunch or that belief that you didn't tell us all you knew. Do you understand?
Yes,
That's
Commissioner.
why we are asking this question.
Yes,
Is
Commissioner.
there a reason why you don't want this name to be mentioned? And I'm not asking you to mention the name. I'm just asking you, is there a reason why you don't want this specific name to be mentioned?
For the same reason, Commissioner, I love this country, and I've been a police officer for 38 years, and because I'm a patriot. When I came, it was because of money. I didn't have work, and then it changed when I'm working here and when I'm growing. One of the questions, number one, which the commission asked me, was to indicate if ever I have knowledge of infiltration and how it happens. And I tried, from my level best of my knowledge, to articulate that to the commission so that I assist. And I wanted to say, whatever it is said there, I told everybody what I told you because I wanted us to fight this crime and then to deal with it. So it cannot, when I have done so, and then don't want to tell the commission. But I felt, because it's not yet over, and the fight is still going on, but the information is needed. And you made a provision that it can be heard, otherwise not mentioning names. Hence I said I wanted all those names not to be mentioned or relating to my conversation with witness A and whatsoever. And it was unfortunate that when I wrote my statement, I used not recalling, mentioning something intentionally to say I don't want to deny. I want to say in later stage, if we agree, because I told my team, if we agree, then I recall and indicate. And I also indicated here, because of that, I know I lived the same life for more than 6 years, which they are living now, and it's not the first time. So, not to say, I know I will perish one day and I will die, it's fine. Now I'm having grown up, I'm having grandchildren, it's fine. That is why I said, let me take what is given to me. I can't get all. But I didn't want all the names to be mentioned.
General, I see you're not going to answer this question. You may have your reasons, so I'm going to leave you with this. Are you willing to mention this name in camera and reasons why you were not prepared to tell us in public why you don't want this name to be mentioned?
Yeah, I can do that.
Thank you.
You're leaving the Mutsumi discussion? Okay, let me just ask 2 questions out of that. General, you explained that Mr. Mutsumi called you because someone had referred him to you. Did I understand you correctly or hear you correctly that there was in fact more than one call with him?
Yes,
because
yes.
you speak of 2024 and then you speak of 2025.
Yes.
Okay, can you just explain, in 2024 he calls, is it just one call and the next time you speak in 24, or what happens there? What number of calls do you have in 24?
No, he called, and then I called the investigators because he was not the complainant, obviously the managers, and then I will also call and give him feedback and so forth.
So there was a formal complaint. You say there were investigators. So does that mean there was a
case
docket?
opened in that particular station, but I can get I don't have the case now. I can get the case.
You can get us the details
I can
of
get
that.
the case. And
Yes.
then in Northwest, Brigadier Khorani can attest to that. It's just that I don't have my WhatsApp, but I think he will still have the WhatsApps I forwarded to him of what was being depicted and what was happening.
Yes.
Yes.
And all of that is in 2024.
No, I think
I'm just trying to understand.
Brigadier Khorani, I think, is 2025.
Okay, so that's the one that we have here,
Yes.
a record of. That's when he called you.
Yeah, it's 2025 when he called me. That is why I remember, because I attended the SARPCO preparatory for AGM of SARPCO in Dar es Salaam when I received the call.
Okay. And yeah, you've offered that you can get and for this one in 2025, is there a docket? Was there an investigator?
I think Brigadier indicated that they opened an inquiry. I will follow up with him, but they did attend to numerous complaints whereby they arrested people who were robbing in that particular area, robbing the chrome or whatsoever. So, but he can provide such information.
All right, thank you for that offer. And then from the evidence that, maybe let me ask it differently. What do you know about the association between Sergeant Nkosi and Mr. Mutsumi? Do you know anything about them being associated in any way?
Not really, but it seems they know each other because when I was speaking about the mine thing, he indicated to say he knows Mutsumi. So I believe they know each other.
Okay, so you mentioned your Mutsumi conversation.
Yeah, because that time there was buses banned in Breads. And when they were going that side, I said, also, you must find out what is happening in those particular area of the mines there. I had a complaint from Mr. Mutsumi. He indicated, is Mutsumi who? I said, if I remember, he said Stephen or something like that, yes.
Okay. And that's all? That's the only discussion you've had with Sergeant Nkosi about Mr. Mutsumi?
Yeah, that what I can remember of, yes.
Okay. And then General Sibia, do you know anything about any association between him and Mr. Mutsumi?
I don't know. They might have, because I said he was referred to me, and I don't know who referred him to me, and I didn't ask him who referred him to me, but maybe they might be knowing each other because he knows a lot of business people, and mostly in South Africa it's like that. Prominent people, they don't like going down to the police station. They start there on the top. They will phone their member of parliament from their constituency who will phone the minister for national commissioner or the deputy or the DIFCOM. Then they phone us, and then we will go down to the provinces. Or if they are used to the provincial commissioner, they will phone the provincial commissioner direct. So this is the culture of our people. They feel they can be assisted better if they speak to the one on the top. So the possibility is there that
you don't know
I don't know
of any association.
No.
Thank you. Thank you, General. Thanks, Mr.
Thank
Chair,
you.
I'm sorry to
Yes,
to
Mr.
disturb
Mkhize.
you. In that, with your permission, Chair, with regard to the issue of name mentioning, my instructing attorney is just basically instructing me to place something on record, particularly because the general might actually feel that we did not do enough to try and try and save the situation and so on. And this is just for the purpose of placing it on record. Other than talking to the legal team of this commission with regard to how the issue of the audio was going to be approached, I specifically, before the commission resumed, specifically raised the issue. I went to my colleague and raised the issue of whether or not the audio can be played without mentioning the names, for instance, referring to the names in terms of letters, whether it's A, B, or G, and so on and so on. And I made the point that I don't see what harm that would do to the case that they would have been trying to
All the
present.
names or just the one name that has been skipped?
Indeed, and if necessary, the general could simply write those names, just like it did with regard to one of the sources that you mentioned in here and then present, but to avoid mentioning names. And I said,
If it seems to be the case, there's an issue with regard to only one name, why should others not be mentioned?
well, my understanding was that, our instruction was that actually he didn't want all the names to be mentioned, but obviously he had to concede as he realized that there was a resistance to. Eventually he said, look, well, if it must happen, it must happen, then you can mention all the other names. So I think he was very frustrated. But the
Well-
point that we are trying to do is just to place on record that we did, because bringing a formal application for an in-camera would basically have delayed the whole process. I mean, the issue arose while we were here. We would have had to adjourn and bring a formal application, and so it would have delayed the whole process. And he himself wants the proceedings to. I just thought that my instructor just thought that we should place that on record. It's not as if he's trying to hide anything, but it's just concerned, just like anyone else, about his own safety. And
But when we resumed after the adjournment and everything then unfolded the way it did, we assumed that that was on the basis of an agreement between you and the evidence leaders.
in that, we tried. I personally had tried my best to try, but of course there was.
But did we not proceed in accordance with what had been agreed? I assume that that was so. And in fact, I think all of us did. Yes.
Well, it has already happened.
At least,
I'm
at least,
just-
at least with regard to the other names,
With regard to the other names.
all the names that have been mentioned, or the names that have been mentioned. Yeah.
Indeed. We were just placing it on record because, as I'm saying, Chair,
But
We
maybe
couldn't-
I should.
we couldn't understand
yes,
why
Yes.
not
Maybe I should.
mentioning the names would have
Here,
been a
Ms.
problem.
Oh, sorry for speaking while she was speaking. Please continue.
No, I'm sorry, Chair. I was simply saying, not mentioning the names, referring them by letters and so on. So I couldn't understand because those names would have been important. They know the names. You would have known the names. You know the names. The public are just interested in the information, not necessarily the names. And there's a reason why the names shouldn't have been mentioned and so on.
You see, my difficulty is if the witness has an issue or a problem with only one name, I don't understand why the rest of the names should be, or why letters should be used in respect of the rest of the names. I have a difficulty understanding that, if you see what I mean.
Yes, I fully understand
Yes.
what the chair is saying, but my submission is that he had a problem with mentioning all the names. But of course, it looks like they were grays. I mean, He was
Okay.
more concerned about certain people and so on. But he would have preferred that no one should have been mentioned and so on for reasons that he knows. He operates in that particular space. He understands the problems that might be out there. So he understands them better than us. And yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Mkhize. Ms. Sigels.
Yes, thank you, Chair. The General's initial concern was about the one name that has been redacted. And then when we had reached agreement, my learned friend came to me and indicated that the General didn't want another name also disclosed. And I indicated that that name is already part of witness, in fact, all the names are part of witness A's statement, which is already on the website, already available, and which I had already put to the witness, to General Shabiri, publicly. So it didn't make sense. But insofar as the one name that had been redacted, we had no problem because there was an agreement. But it just seemed that it was now further agreements on names that were already public, and that is why. And I obviously would rather not disclose what it was said about why those names shouldn't. The General was uncomfortable about those other names.
So the short point is we proceeded in accordance with the agreement between council.
Indeed, Chair.
Yes.
I think the General was just responding insofar as the suggestion is that he's afraid to just mention that name. It's not that the suggestion is that he's not afraid to mention that name. He didn't want any of the names mentioned, not because of fear, is the suggestion, but because he didn't want them named.
Towards the end, in response to a question by me, Mr. Mkhize, you were talking, I don't know if you heard, Ms. Sigels-Ncube says, we proceeded in accordance with what was agreed between council. Do you confirm that? Finally, whatever may have been said leading up to that agreement, but ultimately the agreement was in accordance with,
It was
or
more-
rather how we proceeded was in accordance with
It
what
was more of a concession than an agreement, Chair. They said, look, yes, and then we had to, yes.
or an agreement extracted through a concession. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr.
Please take, go.
Thank you.
Sorry. Because of this conversation, maybe let me just ask my question. I know, General, that Commissioner Kumalo asked you to try and to get out of you why this particular name you don't want to mention. And he did mention that General Sinona didn't want to mention Mr. Mutsumi, which he did mention eventually. And the explanation in the application was that name belongs to a very dangerous person. Now, you heard the chair yesterday when he started, expressed concern about generals being afraid to mention names. Is it the same reason? Is it fear that this person is dangerous? In fact, let me ask all of them, the people. We know that Mr. Mswazi has passed on. You didn't want to mention any one of these people. You have said they have somebody, you never know who's related and associated with whom, but you made a compromise, even on the basis of that concern. You made the compromise that the other names can be mentioned, but there is just this one name that let me finish. There's just this one name that you don't mention. My question is not so much about this one name, it is to understand the reasons for not wanting to mention people by name. And there's a risk of attaching possible explanations if there's no explanation, satisfactory explanation from you, the witness. The one risk may be, well, you're protecting this person. You don't want them to be exposed. That's the one risk. And I'm saying risk, I'm not saying that's why you're not mentioning them. The one risk is, well, you're protecting and maybe you're sacrificing, you're prepared to sacrifice the others now that you were put in a spot and you're providing cover to this person. That's the one risk, possible explanation. The other explanation is, well, maybe there's still ongoing investigations about all of them, but especially this one, maybe the investigation is still in early days. And so you would be compromising it. The other possible explanation is all of them are dangerous, but especially like Mr. General Sinona said about Mutsumi, they are all dangerous, but especially this one. And maybe there are chords with your safety concern where you say they all have protection and I don't have protection. That's a possible explanation, and that's the chair's premise, that it's because you're concerned, you're scared for your physical safety. So without a proper explanation, there's a risk that not just us, but the listening public, they draw their own conclusions. You've heard the chair yesterday say it's a sad day that generals who are supposed to be investigating these people are scared of them. I don't know if you are happy to leave it at that. That's the impression that these exchanges of fear and not mentioning people, they leave that impression. Can I ask you to comment if you want to? You don't have to, General, if you feel you've said enough about it. I just, in fairness to you, think I should put it to you because it's something that's of a bother, that the head of organized crime in the country doesn't mention names and we don't quite know why.
Yeah, it happens worldwide that people subject to investigation, sometimes we don't mention. And again, that is why even in the country we have laws whereby we can say we don't mention certain information. And some people who are outside their business, people or whoever, they worked with us and knew us in and out and whatever, better than other people. So it becomes a problem when you arm somebody who you know he knows you in and out, or even your own family can be known to them. So the danger is not about me. The danger might be, I know the senior counsel, I know where his children are going, and we went to school together and know everything in and out. And sometimes you know how those people can behave. So I didn't want to respond actually, but I know you will not let it go. So that is why I responded.
It's a safety issue, General. Is that all it is?
Yes.
It's a safety issue.
Yeah.
All right. It's all right. Thank you.
Thank you. General, there's just one aspect that I want to deal with in conclusion. You indicated in your supplementary statement that there's this suggestion that some police officers are getting promotions or being offered promotions for giving information or negative information about you. Do you recall that part of your statement?
Yes.
And you make that same suggestion insofar as witness A's recent promotion to warrant officer. You call that?
Yes.
And you say that the commission must be mindful of that or look into that.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I just want to understand on what basis do you suggest that witness A's promotion that he may have been promoted to warrant officer because he had done anything or said anything negative towards you or about you?
Yeah. As once General Mkwanazi indicated that you have informers, I also have informers. And that is why I was able to assist the team to say this is coming, this is going to happen. And from within the subs itself, I worked with, I was very prolific in my investigating time, and a lot of people will like to come to me and whatever, and the information comes out to say people are promised posts if they can get information against you. And I indicated before that I even had information that people were going around with my picture wanting to get statements to say I was staying at the penthouse or what. And I gave a statement of a member who was driving me from October to December, whereby I was approached by one member who's working there to say, we want information about the person you are driving, his relation with General Sibia, and we can make you a captain. And we attached that statement. So it is on that basis. And also, I indicated to the commission that one of the recommendations by the commission was the National Commissioner must appoint a team to investigate those who were being mentioned here in the commission and where the commission had a view that there's a prima facie case, including myself. And when we learned what is the team constitution, is that it's constituted by members who worked at the PKTT, and the leader is still General Kumalo, is one of the people making allegations against us. So that is why I said the commission maybe must look into that to say, how is that? Because I was thinking a high-level team, maybe with DPCI and whoever and what, who would be neutral in this whole matter. But I was just highlighting. But the thing which made me to highlight is because of that driver who came to me and said, hey, on a weekend, people came to my house and said this and that and that and that and that. And yeah, it's a problem. And I could see also that there is a circle of people circled working together to make sure these people are get rid of. For example, I was not moved anywhere until General Kumal testified at the ad hoc committee then, and at the committee they asked, why is that Shiviri still loitering at the offices of SAPS? And he indicated, no, the information is he's moved somewhere. You know, the following 2 days, I got a letter to be moved somewhere. And then after that, I got a letter of suspension. So this is how it works. Like it's a team, they're wanting to make sure that those who are not towing the line with us, we get rid of them. There is, if we have done something wrong, it's fine. You must pay for dues for what you have done. So, but I highlighted this to make sure. It seems, it is suspicious, seemingly, some of those things happens. They got promoted, all of them who are there, according to my information.
Okay.
And maybe, then it made me to have such suspicion. I'm not saying it is like that, but it made me to have such suspicion.
But General, you...
Sorry. Just for the record, and this is something I said previously, I think it was during your testimony already, a perception may be created around the task team you are referring to, that we are responsible for the composition of that task team. I just want to place it on record that we are not. The commission is not responsible for that. All that the commission did was to make the referrals. Thank you.
Thank you,
No,
Chair.
I'm aware, Commissioner.
No. Yes, you are General, but people listening to you without the background, the necessary background, they may have a misperception about this. So I just thought I should clarify it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
General, insofar as you say that it is suspicious that they've all been promoted, I'm not sure that I understand. You're not suggesting that someone like witness A, who is actually facing and challenging internal forces that were trying to compromise an investigation, and facing external forces such as members of this Group 5 that you are scared to mention, which he mentioned publicly, their names. You're not suggesting somebody of his caliber shouldn't be promoted as he has been, are you?
With due respect, promotion in SAPS, there is a policy. And there is a lot. I told you about a lady who is still in witness protection, who is not promoted there. But I'm not saying if he qualifies or whatever. That's why I'm talking about suspicion. There is a policy of how people are promoted. And there is a lot in SAPS who are going through that. I went through that. I was not promoted on basis of that. But I'm not saying he is not worth rewarding him if ever there is a need. There were awards where they were awarded and whatsoever. Promotion is something, there is a policy in SAPS which we must follow. And I was saying, the suspicion comes from the person approached and promised a rank for information, because that is dangerous.
Yes.
And I was saying, because you see, when I testified here, I said I found it strange that you call people to assist, and then those people have perception against you. and then there is a sort of choreographing of something and whatsoever. So you must wonder what is happening. So it's a whole lot of things, but I didn't want to venture into that. I said one day it will come out in a right way, but as you're asking, so I have to say it.
Yeah. But General Witness A hasn't said anything negative towards you. He has given you what his experience was, and everything that he has said related to you, he was able to back up with necessary information and with evidence. So I'm not sure where you're getting this, that there's an agenda on his side.
You remember his evidence on the White House when he was asked why suspicion. He said his gut feeling. That is why it makes me suspicious for me to be there. And when I was responded, I said I found it silly that you don't know why the person is there and you are there and it's a public place, you come with such. So you cannot have gut feeling as a police officer, you not supported by anything and then and start making remarks against a person. So even yourself, you won't like it. It must be based on a merit of something. So I think those things made you feel otherwise to say there is something orchestrated against you, or for for what you don't know. As I said, for the past years which I was working, I arrested a lot of police, a lot of people. I don't know, I arrested some of their families or whatever, I don't know. I don't know why is the people angry. And where I am, I'm seeing I was helping, now I become a villain.
Thank you, General. Chair, I have no further questions for the General.
Thank you, Ms. Sigels Ncube.
General, I just want to be fair to you. You remember when we were dealing with your bank statement, we were focusing on October 2024.
Yes.
And for your own reasons, you went to October 2023. And now you've created a perception, even in the minds of the public, of this unexplained transaction. I want to give you the opportunity to explain it so that you don't read in the papers that Shibiri is alleged to have done this and you never got a chance to address it. Go to file 4 on page 24.
Too much.
Are you there, General?
Yes,
Please switch on the other mic. Why is it off?
they are all off. Maybe when we pump them with the books.
That's okay. General, when you started testifying last week, you said your birthday is in October, correct?
Yes,
And then you said the reason you wanted to receive your bonus in December was because it helps with the school fees in January.
yes,
Yes. So we can take it that your actual birthday is in October.
yes.
Yes. On page 24, file 4 is your bank statement for the period October 2023. Do you see that?
Yes,
Yes. And there's a credit to your account of 58,820 on the 11th of October 2023. Do you see
Yes,
that?
yes.
Just remind us again, when is your birthday?
23rd of October.
23rd. So that money is paid into your account is 58,000, but the transaction you referred us to is a transaction of the same date. If you go 4 entries down, it's a purchase at Zenia
Yeah, Zegna.
for 53,538.
Yes,
And you explained that it's for a purchase of a suit.
yes, that is the suit I was talking about.
And you said a friend wanted to buy a suit, but they transferred money into your account for you to pay for them,
Yes,
correct?
yes.
Just so that we're clear, it was not a gift to you,
No,
a birthday gift.
no,
And it certainly was not a gift to you by any of these 3 people. either Mr. Matlala or Mr. Mulefa or Mr. Mutsumi?
No, if you check the,
No, listen to the answer to
Okay.
the question. I'm trying to assist you because I don't want us to live with a perception that either of these people purchased the suit for you.
Yes.
So I'm giving you an opportunity so that you deal with this. Just confirm that that purchase of a suit at Xenia for 53,500, it was not a birthday gift for you by either Mr. Matlala, Mr. Mulefa, or Mr. Mutsumi.
no, it was
Yes,
not.
now you can say whatever you wanted to say, then we can finish.
I wanted to say, Commissioner, you can check the deposit is from Africa Steel. Africa Steel is owned by Mr. Cheng, who happened to be a friend of mine. And then he was the one who was buying a suit. His son was getting married. He was getting to China. So he was buying a suit at Zegna. So
It's not
he
a
didn't.
suit, it's a Xenia.
Okay. And then he requested the secretary to forward, to deposit the money to my account so that we can swipe. Yes.
No, I wanted to give you that opportunity because we don't want to live here and people write about you that Mr. Matala bought you a suit and you didn't get the opportunity to clarify that. That's all I needed to clarify.
No, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, sir.
General, the last question really from me, and I'm hoping it will be short because the chair has asked me to be short. Now, and you may have answered and clarified this and I missed it. So, and if you have already done so, please bear with me. I just need you then to repeat it. In your statement at paragraph 199, you have stated that you don't know Zeng Malo, you don't know a relationship between Mr. Malema and General Sibia. In fact, maybe let me do it properly. Let me do this properly. You state in paragraph 202, you say that my recollection of the matter is limited to that interaction. There's an interaction earlier where there was a complaint. You were approached by Zeng Malo's lawyers about a burglary, and then you say my recollection of the matter is limited to that interaction, and I have no personal knowledge of Zeng Malo nor of any relationship between him, Lieutenant General Sibia, or Julius Malema. That's what you say at paragraph 202. And then when you were asked about WhatsApp exchanges at page, at file 3, page 195, where Sergeant Nkosi, you were talking about General Khan, you and Sergeant Nkosi. You, at page 194, you say, I understand Khan was suspended on Monday. This is on the 19th of September. And then Nkosi says, the last time I checked, it was an intention to suspend. Let me confirm, he says. And then you say, I was told by one of his friends, Governor in Limpopo. Nkosi says, so it's true if it's from him. It's those extortion cases. And then you say, yes, and some botched drug investigation at KZN. And then here's really what I'm interested in. In the next page, at page 195, Nkosi says, let me check with Ze. It's written Z there, Ze. And then you say, okay. Now, my recollection is you were asked, do you know Ze? You say no. Am I wrong in that recollection?
No, you are not wrong, you're correct.
I'm correct with that. Okay, so you said you don't know him in those chats, and then again, as I've read to you in 202, you say you don't know that relationship. You've now had the benefit of the recording. You've had the recording, which must have jolted your memory. Am I correct to say you revise your position about this issue? You did convey to witness A that there is a relationship between Zeng Malo, Mr. Malema, and General Sibia.
Yes, and I explained why I say that because of those people who came to his office in my presence, and also the taskings from the DNC indicating he got a request for intervention from Mr. Malema.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So it's not that you don't know anything about him, because that's what you had conveyed in paragraph 202. Even when you were discussing the WhatsApp, you were asked, why does he send this to you? You said, I don't know. Do you know Zay? You said no. So what I'm checking with you is that you do revise your position, that you do know him, and you did mention.
I know the name, not him. I don't know him.
Okay.
And even the description, it
Yes.
was the description from the person who was informing me that time to say he looks like. But I suspected it's the same person.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, maybe let me do this. At page 67 of the transcript, you say, yes, there is this other guy. His name is Z. He's also staying in Senton. He's a Zulu guy, the tall one. So you know him. You know that he's tall. You know that he's a Zulu guy. You know that he stays in Senton. You have that information. And then you then say, and then he is close to Malema. That's you saying that in the telephone call. So Malema is close to Sibia, you see. So you've created, firstly, you know the person. You describe who Zay is, not just by name. You say he's that tall guy. So you know something about him. But you also know that he's close to Mr. Malema. That's what you say. And then you say, and Malema in 10 is close to Sibia. That's all I was checking, that while you deny categorically in your statement at 202, you deny that you know anything about them having a relationship. Remember that paragraph 202. You say, I never said that, I don't know that. And then in the WhatsApp exchanges, when you were asked, you said, well, he just said he will speak to Z. I don't know who is Z, that's what you said. And I'm saying, but the transcript reflects that you actually do know something, whether you were told or you know it personally, but you conveyed to A that you know something about the relationship amongst these three people, and that Zay is that tall guy, which means you know him personally.
Yes, when I was explaining on the phone, remember it was linked to the information and the description which was given to me. But when coming to this one is the first time you were asking about when Kosi said you will ask Zay or whatever you mentioned. But I didn't know who is he talking about, because it is now in December. I don't know when was that one when I received information, because
It was in September.
Yeah, knowing Kosi that he knows a lot with the lot of officers. I wanted to confirm if this is true, because I didn't believe. I was informed by somebody that the general might be suspended, and he said he's going to. I thought that this person he's talking about might be a member of SAPS, but I was not sure if ever it would be that one.
Thank you, General. Thank you, Chief.
Mr. Mkize, if you will be having any re-examination, you need to apply your mind to specific issues, and you should advise us in advance as to those specific issues.
Indeed, Chair, our position as it stands.
But I was thinking you could come back to us on that when we resume after the lunch adjournment.
Indeed, our current position is that the default position is that we are unlikely to do any
All right.
examination, but should it be necessary, and then
All
of course
right.
we'll do
You'll just
formal
tell us then
application
when we
indeed.
come back whether there is or there isn't. Thank you
Indeed.
very much. Let's adjourn and resume at 2:20.